Attention passionate Chicago, BEARS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, BEARS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been keeping an eye on the NFC North, you know things are heating up. And the latest rumors swirling around could have some serious implications for the Bears, secondary, and more broadly, their playoff ambitions. Word on the street is that the Chicago Bears are eyeing a major move, potentially trading for J.C. Horn, the talented cornerback from the Carolina Panthers. This isn't just speculation. Sources suggest that the Bears are willing to part with a second-round pick to bring Horn into the fold. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense, especially considering the current state of Chicago's secondary, which has been hit hard by injuries and inconsistent play. The Panthers, sitting at 2-8 and clearly in the midst of a rebuild, are more than open to trading Horn. They're facing a tough season, and their offense is struggling to keep up, which makes them eager to get some draft capital and rebuild for the future. Carolina's cap situation isn't ideal either, with a negative cap space that pushes them to make moves now rather than later. Trading Horn for a second-round pick could be a win for them. They get some value back and can focus on their rebuild. For the Bears, this isn't just about adding a player. It's about bolstering a secondary that's been struggling to stay healthy and consistent. Jaylon Johnson is on IR with a groin injury, Kyler Gordon has been battling a calf injury, and Tyrique Stevenson is also dealing with a calf issue. That leaves Chicago with a secondary that's been exposed at times and desperately needs some stability. Horn, who's just 26 years old, is a shutdown corner. When he's healthy, he's a game changer, reducing the yardage opponents gain through the air and creating opportunities for the front seven to get after the quarterback. If we look at his profile, Horn has a solid track record. In 2025, he's played 10 games with 38 solo tackles and 12 assists, along with 2 interceptions and 10 pass breakups. His PFF grade is a strong 88.2, which shows he's performing at a high level. Over his career, he's accumulated 198 solo tackles, 72 assists, and 10 interceptions, with an impressive coverage win rate of 86%. That coverage win rate is indicative of someone who can lock down top receivers, forcing turnovers and making life difficult for quarterbacks. His EPA per coverage snap is 22, which, while not eye-popping, still shows he's a reliable presence on the field. What makes Horn so intriguing for the Bears is his ability to generate turnovers and limit big plays. His history of plus 25 turnovers, combined with his coverage success, makes him a perfect fit for Chicago's defense. And let's not forget, he's shown resilience despite some injuries. In 2025, he had a shoulder contusion but managed to play 85% of the snaps and is fully recovered now. That durability, combined with his skill set, makes him a valuable asset for any team fighting for a playoff spot. Now, why would the Panthers be willing to part ways with Horn? Well, their record of 2-8 and a sputtering offense have made it clear they're focused on rebuilding. They're skeptical about their current roster's chances, and their cap situation forces tough decisions. The trade would give them some much-needed cap relief and draft capital to help accelerate their rebuild. It's a classic move for a team in full rebuild mode: clear out veteran assets, get younger and more flexible financially, and build from the ground up. For the Bears, acquiring Horn could be a game changer. His addition would immediately boost the secondary's talent level, especially with the injuries they've faced. His ability to lock down top receivers like A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith, if they face him in upcoming matchups, would be a huge advantage. Plus, his presence could elevate the entire defense. Chicago's pass rush has been decent, but with a shutdown corner like Horn, they could generate even more pressure, knowing they have a reliable cover man on the back end. Statistically, adding Horn would likely mean a drop in passing yards allowed per game against the Bears' secondary, projecting a reduction of around 15% in opponents' passing yards, which is significant. It would also increase turnovers. The Bears could see an uptick of around 10 turnovers over the rest of the season. That's the kind of impact that can flip games and give Chicago a real shot at making a deep playoff run. The team's cap hit for Horn would be around $6 million, which is quite manageable, especially considering how much he can bring to the table. Looking ahead to the Super Bowl odds, this move could be a serious boost. Right now, the Bears are considered long shots, with odds somewhere between +20, 0, and +11, 0. But with a player like Horn, especially if he continues to perform as he has in recent years, the Bears could be viewed as a dark horse contender, maybe even moving into a +500 spot for the playoffs, given his potential to be a difference maker in big games. Horn's ability to take away passes and force turnovers would give Chicago an extra X factor, especially when facing high-powered offenses like the Eagles or the 49ers. Of course, this is a bold move, and some might say it's risky. Carolina is in a full rebuild, and trading Horn could be seen as giving up on their season early. But in the NFL, smart teams understand when to tear it down and when to build up again. For the Bears, this could be a pivotal moment, a smart, aggressive move that signals they're serious about contending sooner rather than later. With the current state of their secondary, Horn's addition could be the piece that pushes them over the edge, helping them climb the division standings and make a real playoff push. So, to wrap it up, the potential trade for J.C. Horn is one of those moves that could reshape the entire NFC North landscape. It's a bold gamble, but if it pays off, it could set the Bears up for sustained success and bring them closer to their Super Bowl dreams. The next few weeks will be critical. Will Chicago pull the trigger? If they do, fans can expect a lot of fireworks and a secondary that finally lives up to its potential. It's an exciting time to be a Bears fan, and we're all eagerly watching to see how this story unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And honestly, this could be a game changer, not just for the season, but for the future of the franchise. If the Bears land Horn, it's a statement that they're serious about contending and building a defense that can carry them deep into the playoffs. The secondary, which has been a question mark for years, could finally get the upgrade it desperately needs. With Horn's skills, Chicago's defense could transform from a middle-of-the-pack group into one of the league's top units, making it tougher for opponents to throw the ball effectively. Looking at the bigger picture, this move aligns perfectly with what the Bears have been trying to do: build through smart draft picks, develop young talent, and make strategic trades. Horn fits the profile of a player who's entering the prime of his career and has the potential to be a cornerstone of Chicago's secondary for years to come. Plus, his ability to generate turnovers and lockdown receivers adds a dimension that Chicago's defense has been missing since the days of their greatest secondary players. And for the fans, this is exactly the kind of move that keeps the energy high. Imagine the roar of the Soldier Field crowd when Horn makes a game-changing play. That's the kind of spark that can ignite a team and energize a fan base hungry for success. The Bears are at a crossroads, and acquiring a player like Horn could be the move that propels them into true contention territory. Of course, there are still questions. Will Chicago be willing to part with their second-round pick? Can Horn stay healthy and replicate his best performances? And how will he adapt to the Bears' defensive scheme? But if the pieces fall into place and the trade happens, the Bears could be on the verge of something special. This move would send a statement to the rest of the league. Chicago is serious about winning, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. So, in conclusion, keep an eye on this story. The potential acquisition of J.C. Horn could be a turning point for the Bears this season. It's a move that could elevate their secondary, boost their chances in the playoffs, and set them up for a future where they're not just participating but competing for championships. For now, fans should stay tuned and keep supporting their team, because big things are on the horizon, and the Bears could very well be about to make a statement in the NFC North and beyond. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.